Hi everybody, happy Monday. We are always so glad to see you. This is Steve, I'm Chris, and we are Eat, Walk, Learn. We are a retired couple that left Denver back in June of 2021, and we've been on the road since. We give you an update every Monday. Give us a subscribe and a like, and we're going to tell you what's been going on this amazing week. Where are we?
Big week. We're in Cancun, Mexico.
And we're on the way to Ajaik, Lake Chapala, Mexico on Tuesday. But oh my God, we're going to tell you about this amazing week that we've had. We've been dropping hints all along in our social media about the cenotes and the beaches and things that we've seen. And we're going to tell you how we got to do over $500 of value of tours for almost free. So just, and by the way, did you see our video last week of, is Mexico safe? I'm going to put a link up here so you can watch that. We have some pretty good insight on whether or not Mexico's safe. So make sure you watch that. Before we get into how we got $500 of things for free, we were walking through not Pensacola, Cancun. I don't know where Pensacola came from. We were walking through Cancun this week and we came across this amazing statue. I'm going to show you a little picture of it. It is a dedication to the first doctor who died of COVID. So we're just
brand new, just installed.
Maybe 2 months old. It literally stopped us in our tracks and we just kind of went, whoa. So we wanted to share that with you. Anyhow, did we go out to dinner this week?
Yes, we did. We went out to dinner to a nice local place. We thought it wasn't very touristy.
Called Las Cebas.
Yes, but it turns out it was pretty touristy. And we, after some discussion with the manager of the restaurant, Chris loves to talk in Spanish to the locals, and we were talking about how we were looking for things to do that were a little bit different, a little bit out of unique and out of the ordinary. And this nice gentleman walked up who said that he wanted to know if we wanted to know about any of these fabulous excursions to some of the places that we really had been wanting to go to, like Holbox and
Balam.
Yeah, Balam. And so I noticed his shirt. It was the name of a resort or hotel, and I said, "Tell me about your shirt." And so he went into his pitch for his timeshare, and he started out. What was interesting, he started out by saying, we could go on this full day excursion and all these things included, and it would only cost us $100. And then
actually, you started higher than that because the trip out to Holbox was, I had already priced it. If we tried to do it on our own, it was like $150 per person. I think he started at like $175 or something like that. Anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, the idea is we figured out that he was pitching a timeshare presentation that we could go to, and also we talked to him for a long time. Talked about his budget and really kind of understood what it was that we could kind of really get. So it was interesting, just the whole process of the negotiation. We wound up getting two days of excursions for the two of us to places that we wanted to go to that we'll tell you about. And it was only going to cost $35. And we really kind of dug into, why couldn't we get it for free? We really, basically that was like his commission of what it would cost to, he couldn't go any lower than that price. And so, after a long negotiation, we felt pretty good that we were getting a pretty amazing deal for.
So his approach was pitch us on these tours that we want to do, sell those tours at a really reduced price at the cost of sending us out to the timeshare. So we got 2 tours that we had priced, which were going to cost us about $500 total. One out to Holbox and one to Balam, and we were able to buy those from him for $35 with the commitment that we would go out to the timeshare.
Right.
So the next day, they picked us up 7:30 in the morning. We took a taxi out to the timeshare. Beautiful place.
Great place.
I mean,
gorgeous.
If you want a timeshare, this is the place to go. We got breakfast. They showed us the units, and then they got into the pitch of how much it would cost to own a timeshare. Now, we have done a timeshare presentation before, and I'm going to put a link below for the details about how we did it in Cabo and how we did it here, how they find you, what they pitched you, what it costs, what it doesn't cost, what you get in return, and the whole kind of spiel, what we just talked about. But I've written it all out. So if you're somebody that wants to read something, here's the post at our Eat, Walk, Learn blog to read about that. But what's interesting is I was genuinely interested. I'm not a timeshare person. I'm never going to buy a timeshare, but I've been watching timeshares over time, And I really thought that maybe they might have a different business model now that might actually appeal to our lifestyle. If we could find someplace, some sort of contract that we could do 3 months here, 3 months here, 3 months here, and 3 months here, and kind of rotate those places, that actually might be something I'd be interested in. And I was hoping that they would have something like that.
They were really confused by us. They were like,
Who are
wait,
you?
you're,
don't live what?
you're from Denver, but you haven't been home in 6 months, and what's, what? So, we're telling them our, kind of our whole story, not the whole thing, so the presentation was really confusing because they didn't know what to make of us. Are we looking for a week someplace? Are we looking for 6 months someplace? And so, but the bottom line was, they wanted us to give them tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars for something that I was super confused by. So the presentation was just really missing the mark for me. But at the whole time in the back of my head, you've got to keep saying to yourself, just say no. Just say no, because they'll just keep going. In fact, there were, once the one guy was done with his sales pitch, and really tough sales pitch, he calls in the closer with the other sales pitch. And we won't call out Roberto, what was his name? Roberto, but wow, he was good. He was really good. And then when they finally, I just had to say, this isn't for us. The answer is no. And then they take you downstairs to the next guy who's going to give you another pitch and try to sell you something different. So we went through we were probably there for about 3 hours.
They tell you you're going to be there for 90 minutes, but then at least 90 minutes, but you get breakfast and then you get the tour and then you get the 9,000 salespeople. I mean, we probably could have gotten out of there quicker. It is interesting. I have to say it's interesting. So you kind of want to keep listening to see how they twist, especially if you like sales pitches and you're a person we both retired from sales. So it's kind of fun to see how a salesperson works a salesperson. So we probably could have gotten out of there quicker, but from door to door, it was about 3 hours, I would say.
Right,
yeah.
right. And it's not till the very end that they say, okay, here's what we promised you, here's what we're gonna give you. We even got a bottle of tequila out of it. So, we got more than we had even asked for. So,
So everybody's, we were dropping these beautiful pictures all over social media this week about what we actually did. So the first day, the day after the tour, we went out to Holbox. So Holbox is a island off the northern tip of the Yucatan in the Gulf of Mexico. So it's about, they picked us up in the morning, about 8 o'clock in the morning. We took a van to another van, and then finally made it out to the ferry terminal. And then we took some boats across to Holbox, where the first stop we made was on a sandbar where we got to walk out in the water and unbelievably
gorgeous,
drop dead
beach,
gorgeous.
Tropical.
And then we went into they took us into the town and we had some lunch and there's some beautiful street art all over the place, some murals. Enjoyed that, and then hung out on the beach for a little while. So Holbox, who do you think should go to Holbox? And it's Holbox, pronounced Holbox.
I mean, it is laid back. The only way you can get there is by ferry. There's no cars allowed on the island. It's all dirt roads. It's basically the beautiful white beach with the little hotels and the bars and hanging out on the beach. So if you want to get away from everything and just experience the Riviera Maya that where we are without, I guess without a lot of people.
But it's definitely a day trip place. I don't think there's a lot of people going there for the weekend, or there might be for the weekend, but not for the week. But
it's
the Instagrammers are definitely there. It was definitely a place where people were posing and Instagramming, and I'll show you a couple pictures of just, you couldn't get away from this whole feeling that the Instagrammers had discovered it. So anyway, then we went over to another cenote, which was really nice, but it was not nearly as nice as the next day. So the next day, again, we get in the van, we go it seemed like hundreds of miles. But what was different about our second tour out to Balam and the Cenote Maya it was a private tour. We were the only two people on it. We were the only two people in the van. They picked us up. They wished us off. I mean, because it was only the two of us, we were early everywhere. And we get to, first place we went to was Cenote Maya. We had the whole thing to ourselves for like 2 hours.
Yeah, there's probably a dozen,
place.
Staff and photographers and people, and you'll see some of the pictures. Fantastic place, and we were the only ones there, so it was really, really special. And the interesting thing about cenotes is it's like the fourth or fifth one that we've been to. They're all different. They're all natural, fresh water, beautiful environments. Just this one was just incredible.
The largest cenote in the Yucatan.
And the first time I had ever rappelled. I'm afraid of heights, and so excuse me, rappelling was a big deal for me, and I was just like, woo!
Yeah, so we're in it's run by the local village, which is nice. So all the people that work in the village own this natural resource, and so we got to enjoy the entire thing. We had a ceremony with a shaman, which we got blessings for either fertility, wealth, or safety. We're not sure which one. We hope it's one and not the other two. We'll let you guys guess which one we hope it is. And then I had lunch there and discovered a brand new dish called chayita, which is, there's a leaf that's like spinach, which is called chaya, and they made this puff pastry, sort of deep fried, yummy deliciousness. It was amazing. And then from there, we went to Balam, which is another ruin. It's kind of near Coba and Chichen Itza, but it's not very well known. It was discovered in 1999. We got a private tour again with one of the archaeologists that discovered it. So like the director of the archaeology program or something. Anyway, unbelievable, hike to the top of the pyramid. Steve, Mr. Scared of Heights, not only has he rappelled now for the day, now he's hiked up to the top of, the Mayans were serious about how steep things are. And we got to learn all about the different sculptures that were on the outside of the tomb, I guess, within the pyramid. And just really enjoyed another amazing private thing that just fell into our laps, honestly.
Yeah, this really hit two things for us. One is to really understand the native culture and really being immersed into the Maya culture. We passed a number of Maya communities as we drove through the jungle, and saw how some of the women are still wearing their native dress, and the men typically don't anymore. But they're all speaking a different language, a Mayan language. We learned a couple of words. What did we learn?
Yumbotik. That's thank you. I don't remember what good morning was, but Yumbotik. And we were in the Cenote Maya was certainly a tourism attraction, but because we were there alone and because we actually got to talk to the employees and have our own personal experience, we really felt like we hit one of our boxes of being nomads, and that is, don't be just something that takes. Try to be somebody who gives and learns and appreciates and shares, and not just takes a picture and says sayonara or adios or see you later or whatever. So
and the others just really enjoying the natural wonders and the natural environment, and certainly the cenotes and the Mayan ruins just really gave us that full, rich day of really experiencing the natural environment of this area.
Yeah. So that was how we got our $500 or so of freebies, or actually it cost us $35 for the tours with our first guy, and then we paid probably $30 or so in tips over the 2 days. So, and maybe bought a bottle of water or something. So that was a really affordable way to enjoy the absolute best of the Yucatan. Of all the places we've been in the Yucatan and where I've been in Mexico, the top two, definitely. Ekbalam with Cenote Maya, and then Holbox with, I can't remember the other name of the cenote. We'll post it up here. Anyway, really, really great week. So we're finishing up in Cancun. We've been here 4 weeks. In the Yucatan, we've been here, 8 weeks or something with Akumal. And we're headed to Ajaik, which is Ajaik, how the Mexicans would say it. Good job, honey. Near Guadalajara. So next week, we will give you all the scoop of what it's like to house sit in a 5-bedroom, 9-bathroom house in Lake Chapala. Talk to you guys next week.